Hello and welcome to Solent Sports News. Coming up on today's programme. Sport is being plagued by coronavirus. We'll have the very latest, including Eastleigh's manager hitting out at National League bosses who are forcing his team to play. But one sports event did take place over the weekend. Find out if Solent Kestrels made history. Good afternoon. As you can imagine, the coronavirus outbreak continues to dominate the news. The sporting world has been hugely affected. Matches have been cancelled, teams are self-isolating, and deep cleans are taking place in stadiums everywhere. New cancellations are being announced every few hours. Our reporter Leanne Goodall joins me in the studio now. Leanne, I know you've been keeping up to date with all the latest goings on, so sport and coronavirus. Give us an update.
Yeah, clearly extraordinary times right now. You know that things are really unusual when you're trying to put together a news show and one story dominates the entire thing. There's not an area left unaffected by coronavirus, but sport has certainly been hit hard. Solent University revolves heavily around sport. So earlier today, I asked the university's head of sport, Martin Naylor, where we stood in the current climate.
We have links with obviously the governing bodies that run the sport, so we're rather determined by the actions they take. All of our sports, we're looking at all of our sports from that perspective and what the governing bodies are recommending, and we're following their advice and we're following the university's advice about how we operate at the moment, and that's the position that we're in really. We've got some decisions to make around certain student events, you know, such as the varsity coming up and the sports awards, but you know, not in a position to mention them, but we are thinking about them, the impacts or whatever, and as soon as we've got some kind of answers, then we shall be giving them. I think we will cope eventually. I think it's going to be a long road, so who knows? It's just unprecedented.
Unprecedented indeed.
Now.
Unprecedented indeed.
So Leanne, there's a sense that even those in charge, there's a sense of uncertainty for them as well. So do you think that's fair? Absolutely.
You could see it on Martin's face during that interview. He was very uncertain. He's waiting for instruction from the university. The university are waiting to hear things from other governing bodies. So there really is a sense of not knowing what's going to happen next.
And in terms of the students, it's uncertain for them as well. So in the current situation, what are their feelings?
Yeah, we've been speaking to students. There's been really, really mixed views. So yeah, we took the camera out earlier today, so have a listen to this.
I think obviously everyone's panicking about it, and I think where it's like a sport uni, everyone's got to be kind of careful because of the whole germ and spreading it.
It will stop a lot of the sports teams from going out and competing.
There is going to be an impact.
I think that people should rather stay at home safe than go and practice their sports because their health is number one, obviously.
So clearly things are uncertain here at Solent as well, and that extends to sporting and non-sporting environment, doesn't it?
Absolutely. We have had stories changing almost on an hourly basis recently, but you know, that's what we're here for. We're here to keep track of those stories for people and to help communicate them to our viewers.
Thank you for joining us, Leanne.
You're absolutely welcome.
Following the postponement of England's Test tour in Sri Lanka, fans were planning on still jetting off to the island. However, their plans have been dealt a blow today as the country have closed their borders to British nationals. The county championship is due to start next month, but local TV producer Rob Williams doesn't believe we'll see much of the sport on TV anytime soon.
It's all very uncertain, isn't it? The county championship season is due to start in about a month. You'd have to think that that's probably going to get postponed and pushed back, but health has to come first and foremost, doesn't it, to the spectators and the health of the country, really. So, yeah, as much as we want to see live sport on the television, I don't think we're going to be seeing it for a while, and cricket is no different to anything else.
Closer to home, Eastleigh's manager has reacted angrily to the continuation of non-league football. The club's former captain has accused the National League of being greedy. His side were defeated 4-0 away to Notts County at the weekend, while Carl Wootton scoring twice for the home side. However, he praised the 193 Spitfire fans who made the 6-hour round trip to the Midlands. A mini-tournament could be used to decide the Champions League and Europa League champions. This is one option put forward to ease the fixture congestion caused by the outbreak. Euro 2020 is set to be postponed to allow league seasons to be completed. Europe's football governing body, UEFA, will be hosting a video conference with major stakeholders on Tuesday. There was one sporting fixture that did go ahead at the weekend though. Yesterday's team Solent Kestrels travelled to Glasgow for their first ever BBL Trophy final. But how did they get on? Here's Luis Jose Sarria with the story of the game.
Yesterday night, Solent Kestrels was close to make history, becoming the first team who
I'll
win
walk
the
in.
BBL in the NBL Division
Would it be better if
1
I'm just sitting?
against Newcastle Eagles. The main protagonist during the match was the level. Solent fought hard, matching Eagles' score, sometimes even being ahead in the scoreboard. However, a powerful MVP Raymond Fletcher instrumental with a 29-point haul didn't let our local team have a head start on. An amazing match with chance for both teams, giving opportunities to be ahead in the game for the local team Solent Kestrels, a game who is not allowed for people who has not still nervous. In the last minute, the match was neck and neck. Trayvon Wright had the last chance in the last moment, missing a lonely shot. At the end, unfortunately, Newcastle Eagles captured the BBL trophy for a 7th time after beating Solent Kestrels 96-94. Luis Jose Sarria, Solent Sport News.
So it wasn't meant to be for the Kestrels, unfortunately. And I'm now joined in the studio by Solent's Head of Sports Programmes, Matt Bishop. Matt, thanks for joining us.
Okay.
Slightly sad circumstances in some ways.
Yeah.
So you were in Glasgow yesterday.
Yeah.
How proud were you of the team?
Yeah, immensely proud of the coaches and the players and all the fans that made it up to Glasgow in what was pretty crazy weekend in this world, and a fantastic achievement just to make the final. An amazing game, loads and loads of stuff on social media. So yeah, the boys did great, and you know, sport is sport, and someone unfortunately has to lose.
Of course, but what does it mean to Solent to have a team like Kestrels based here?
Well, it's huge. The community impact for university to host a club like that is massive. They've been on a journey. We've been on a journey with them, but it's much bigger than just that one team. It's the whole club. And all the people that are involved in it, and all the people that come to watch them on a week basis. We get 500 people in our new facility supporting the guys throughout the season. They've won the trophy for the league. They've won the cup double. So just to get to that BBL final and really showcase what they can do in front of the nation was amazing.
So it's been a cracking season for them anyway. So what's next for the team? Could promotion to the BBL be on the cards?
There's no promotion and relegation with BBL. It's a franchise, so you buy into the league. And there's a lot of stipulations, a huge amount of financial and logistical impact on that. So it's something that we're not sort of talking about at the moment. Obviously, the club is in a situation like everyone else under coronavirus, that we're cancelling training, all the matches are cancelled. We would be normally going into the end of the season games this weekend and then the playoffs, and obviously we'd be looking to try to retain our playoff crown. So we'll talk about it over the summer, but there are huge amounts of financial and logistical challenges that come with being in the BBL. So it's not as simple as just entering in and going forward, as we found from Christmas with one of the teams withdrawing from the BBL purely because of financial reasons.
So there are lots of positives to take. Thank you very
Absolutely.
much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
So that's all for now and for this week. In the meantime, you can keep up to date with us on our various social media feeds, Twitter and Instagram at Solent Sports News. See you next week with more of the latest sporting headlines. Goodbye.